Metro Area Varsity Rugby Conference Championship game between the visitors from Georgetown Prep and the home team, the Gonzaga Eagles. Kickoff time, 7:15. It's a great night for rugby. We'd also like to welcome some of our alumni. Some exciting things are going on in rugby in the DC area. First with DC's first professional team, Old Glory. From Old Glory to introduce, as well as some recently signed Gonzaga alums that will be playing in the exhibition season, which starts on May 19th at Catholic University against Shannon Rugby Club from Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could direct your attention to the center of the field, we'd like to introduce our guests from Hayfield Glory. First, we would like to introduce the head coach, Andrew Douglas. We'd like to introduce Paul Sheehan, class of '81, who is the owner of the team. And our alumni signees. We'd first like to, from the class of 2010, Matthias Sema. And John Davis, also class of 2010. Not here tonight is Guy Lepresti of the class of 2011, but his younger, trimmer brother, Dante Lepresti, class of 2016, also a signing. We have a nice round of applause for all our guests from Old Glory. Please support professional rugby's newest team in the Washington, D.C. area. More news to come.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arthur Farage, and I will be casting the MAVRC Division Championship game between Gonzaga Varsity Purple and Georgetown Prep. Last time these two teams faced each other, Gonzaga won 26-11 in the final week of the season. Since then, Gonzaga defeated St. John's in the semi-final to progress to the final. All of Gonzaga's teams have enjoyed a lot of success this season, with a very successful freshman team who won their division in the JRCs. Gonzaga's varsity black team are also in the final of the MAVRC Division 2. And Varsity Purple, after this game, will go to Utah to compete in nationals. Got kickoff coming up in about 2 minutes, and I believe Gonzaga will kick off to prep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Buchanan Field for the 2019 MAVRC Championship, the Gonzaga Eagles versus the Georgetown Prep Little Hoyas. Please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And after that lovely rendition of the national anthem, we are ready to begin. Gonzaga in white will be attacking from right to left against the Hoyas in blue and white striped jerseys, who will be receiving and attacking from left to right. Gonzaga's Matt Freeman will kick off. And we are underway here at Gonzaga's Buchanan Field with a short, high kick from Matt Freeman to the right-hand side of the field. The Prep's left wing receives it and is instantly tackled out of bounds, and we will have a line-out to Gonzaga. Gonzaga's line-outs have been fairly consistent this season, and it'll be interesting to see how well they come out tonight. Gonzaga's captain, Joe Royston, will throw in. A clean line out from Gonzaga, easily won as the jumper brings the ball down into a maul. He's gaining a lot of territory here as he goes 10, 12 yards. But the ball is not brought out in time, so we will have a scrum down to Prep on the 30-yard line. Prep play the ball in, easily win the scrum, but it is wheeling quite a lot. The ball's played out to the 10. The player switched to the inside center, who's brought down by Gonzaga's center. Prep win the ruck, play the ball out to the left, drop the ball, it's knocked on by Prep. The referee plays advantage, but there is none, and we will have a scrum down to Gonzaga on Prep's 25-yard line. Gonzaga's scrum half Gordon will play the ball in. It's easily won by Gonzaga's pack. Plays the ball out to number 10, Bao Molinari, who will move it to number 12, Alex Billups. He's brought down but gets up and keeps going. He's taken down though. Gonzaga win the ruck. And the ball is taken back into contact by number 1, the prop. Gonzaga win the ruck again and continue to play out to the left as Declan Deegan is brought down. Prep's tackler is not releasing, and Gonzaga will have a penalty only 11 yards out of Prep's try area. Only 4 minutes in. Gonzaga already in a brilliant position to score early and take the lead. The referee appears to have awarded a scrum rather than a penalty. Still in a good attacking position for Gonzaga. Referee not happy with the initial set. He'll blow it up and set the scrum again. Ball played in by Gordon, the scrum half. Gonzaga win. Royston picks, plays the ball out to Gordon, but he can't catch it. And Prep's 10 is away. Gains some good yards. Tries to play the ball out to the left, but it's dropped. And the tackle is made on the 25-yard line. Prep going forward, attacking from left to right. And play the ball out to the right. Tackle is made on the inside center by Jeff Connors, but the penalty is called against Gonzaga for a high tackle. Prep will have a penalty on the 25-yard line. Prep fly half will kick for touch. Kick is deep, but doesn't quite make it out of bounds. And Gonzaga gained quite a lot of distance off of that kick, and the maul is formed. Goes down on the 40-yard line. Gonzaga attacking now. But they have unfortunately been dragged out of bounds for a line out to Georgetown Prep. An early jump from Gonzaga. Prep will take advantage and easily win the line out as the scrum half plays the ball out to the 10, but it's knocked on by the inside center, who's brought down by Alex Phillips. He offloads well though. No call on the knock-on as Prep continue to attack. Play the ball out again to the inside center, who's home and away. Gains about 20 yards from Gonzaga, tries to offload from the floor, doesn't go anywhere but is recovered by the Hoyas. A ruck cleared easily by Prep. Gonzaga looking quite panicked, having to deal with this early attack from Prep. As they play it out again to the number 10, who plays it to the outside center, who will run, who's brought down by Bao Molinari. So Prep win the ruck. Go for the forward pick, gain a little bit of distance, but not too much. They try it again, gain another 5 yards or so. Is brought down once again. Tommy McHale, then Prep number 9, plays a box kick and is recovered by Gonzaga's scrum half, who goes straight down. And Gonzaga clear the ruck and will regain control of the ball. Jeff Connors picks and goes, gains very little distance. Gonzaga retain possession and continue to move forward on the pick and go. Gonzaga keep the ball, and number 10, Bao Molinari, will kick deep. And the ball is easily caught by Prep's fullback, who gains about 10 yards and throws out of bounds. A no-look pass that didn't quite come off for him there. And we will have a line out to Gonzaga on Prep's 55-yard line. Gonzaga win the line out. Play it out to Alex Phillips. Move up, breaks one tackle, goes down. Ball is won by the scrum half Gordon. Gains about 10 yards, keeps going. And Gonzaga will continue to push, but they appear to be losing this ruck as the ball is knocked on out of the ruck by Gonzaga, and we will have a scrum down to Georgetown Prep. Some solid defense here from Prep. About 10 minutes gone now, no score. Prep have been attacking for most of the half so far. Not a lot of success for either team though, as Gonzaga look to defend this scrum. Ball played in by Tommy McHale. Takes it off the bag, but is hit early by Gordon. But Prep get the ball out nonetheless. Gain quite a lot of distance down the wing. He's brought down on Gonzaga's 35-yard line. Prep continue to play the ball out to the backs, get it all the way out to the wing, who's brought down on the 50. Gonzaga win the ruck. Alex Phillips picks that one after making the tackle. Gonzaga kick deep once again. It's easily collected by Prep's fullback, who was challenged by Bao Molinari, who can't quite make the tackle, and has been called offside, and we'll have a penalty to Prep back on the halfway line. Prep will look to kick to touch from here, right on the 50-yard line. And the mark is called at the 20-yard line, an impressive 30-yard kick from Prep's fly half. We will have a line out to Georgetown Prep on Gonzaga's own 20-yard line. Another defensive situation here for the Eagles. The third line out of the game is won by Gonzaga. Ball almost rolls out of bounds, is recovered by Gordon, and is kicked out of bounds again. Comes off a Prep player though, and we will have a line out to Gonzaga. Gonzaga playing out of their own 10-yard line right now. Will probably be looking to kick deep and gain some territory without having to attack out of their own 22. Gonzaga win the line out to the deep pod. Try to maul, but go down too early. Prep's tackler not quite rolling away there, but no worries. Gonzaga recover the ball. Joe Royston takes it straight into contact, is brought down in a double tackle. Gonzaga scrum half passes deep, will play the ball out to Bao Molinari, who will kick it out of bounds at the 35-yard line for a line out to Prep. Prep student section making a lot of noise down on the left-hand side of the field as the lineout is dropped by Prep's forwards, knocked on by Gonzaga's lifters, and we will have a scrum down to Prep. Gonzaga's center Matt Freeman is shouting at the referee. He thinks the lineout wasn't straight. Nevertheless, scrum down has been awarded to Georgetown Prep on Gonzaga's 35-yard line. 17 minutes to go now in the half. Still 0-0. An easy scrum for Prep as the ball comes out the back. Tommy McHale offloads to his 8-man. Prep win the ruck. 9 plays it out to a forward who is rocked by Gonzaga's props. They win the ruck again. Prep's 10 tries to carry the ball into contact, doesn't gain much ground. The ball is knocked on by Prep, but recovered by Gonzaga. Joe Royston gains some distance. And Gonzaga on the attack now, playing out of their own half on about the 40-yard line. And penalty awarded to Gonzaga. Not sure of the call. Offsides was the call. And Bao Molinari will kick to touch. From the 45-yard line, Molinari kicks deep. The mark is called at the 30-yard line, an impressive 35-yard kick from Bao Molinari for a line out to Gonzaga. Gonzaga now looking to attack the Prep in-goal area. This is one of the best chances they've had all game. They win the line out. The ball is played out to Bao Molinari, who's running all the way, skips one, offloads well to Matt Freeman, and the ball is down for a try in the bottom left corner. 15 minutes in, and Gonzaga take the lead 5-0 over the Hoyas. A very impressive backplay move there. Gordon played the ball off the line out to Bal Molinari, who made a great run past 2 or 3 defenders before offloading to Matt Freeman, who ran it in for the try. Gonzaga scrum half Gordon will now look to kick the conversion for an extra 2 points. Gordon tends to be a fairly consistent kicker, although he's kicking from a fairly difficult angle right now. He had the power in the kick, but hooks it a little bit to the left, and Gonzaga will take a 5-0 lead with 14 minutes left to go in the half. Prep will kick back to Gonzaga to restart the half. Prep scrum half Tommy McHale will take the kickoff. Kicks the ball high and deep to Joe Royston, who drops the ball but falls on it. Gonzaga will lose the ruck, and it's a bit of a mess, but it appears Gonzaga have carried the ball out of bounds for a line out to Georgetown Prep. The line out given to Prep about 20 yards out. They'll be looking to make up the point deficit now that they have gone down a try in a fairly good attacking position. Prep win the line out, play it out to their fly half, who plays the seemingly forward pass to his forwards, who carry the ball into contact. Ball played out again to a flanker, who offloads well to a wing, who's brought down on the 30-yard line. Prep will win the ruck, play the forward crash again. He doesn't gain any ground at all. Brought down in a double tackle. Once again, playing out to the fly half, he plays a skip pass. He's brought down by Bal Molinari and Alex Billups. The offload loses Prep a lot of territory, falling from their 30-yard line back to about their 50, and some messy back play cost Prep another 15 yards. Playing back on their own 40 now after being on the 30-yard line attacking only 2 phases ago. And a scrum has been awarded to Georgetown Prep for a knock-on in the rug. Back on their own 40-yard line. The scrum collapses there. It looked as though Prep were going to win it, but we're probably going to replay the scrum. It will still be a Prep put-in, I believe.
How are you? Do me a favor, don't let them play any more music. Okay. At this hour, we need to stop the music and the announcements.
Turnover ball there from Prep. Referee will play back to an advantage, an earlier advantage, for a scrum down to Gonzaga, for an earlier knock-on from Prep. Apologies for the little break in commentary just then. Father Planning came into the booth for a little visit, and we had to have a chat with him, so he turned off the mics for a minute. Scrum down to Gonzaga here, about 40 yards out from the prep tryout. Gonzaga win the scrum. Play the switch play to number 11, the wing. He gains about 20 yards before he's brought down and double tackled by prep. Gonzaga play the ball out to the left to Bal Molinari, to Alex Billups. He gains a lot of distance. Prep can't bring him down. He makes it to about the 7-yard line. Gonzaga very close now to their second try of the game. Joe Royston gets the ball, carries it into contact, doesn't gain much ground. Gonzaga win the ball again, play it out to the backs. Declan Dolan can't quite catch it, and the ball's been turned over. Prep won the ball, carried it into contact, and turned it over again, so we will have a scrum down to Georgetown Prep for the first knock-on. Eight minutes to go now in the half, and Gonzaga still lead 5-0. Referee's not happy with the scrum once again. He'll blow it up and set it up again. Still Prep's putting. Prep win the scrum. Play it to the 10. He tries the deep kick, but it's blocked by Gonzaga's scrum half, Gordon. It will go out the back of the in-goal area for a free kick to Gonzaga, I believe. Oh, sorry, a 22 drop to Georgetown Prep. For those that don't know, there's no offside line on a 22 drop, so Gonzaga's centers are very much allowed to try and block the kick like that. Gonzaga collect the kick, but lose it forwards to Prep, who play on, carry the ball into contact, lose a bit of ground in the tackle. Ball comes out the back of the ruck, is recovered by Joe Royston, and the referee blows it up. Oh, a Prep player is down, appears to be fairly badly injured. Can't quite tell who it is from up here, but he looks quite hurt. And I think we will have a bit of a break in play. 6.5 minutes to go now in the half. Eagles still lead 5-0 over the Hoyas. This looks to be quite a serious injury to one of Georgetown Prep's players. And we might have quite a lengthy break in play. Play will probably resume soon as Prep's injured man is back on his feet and will leave the field of play to be checked out by our trainers. It appears to be Prep's scrum half, number 9, Tommy McHale, who's been playing quite a good game so far, so his injury will be quite hurtful to Prep's success this game. They've made the substitution, and we will wait and see how play is restarted. We will have a scrum down to Georgetown Prep on Prep's own 35-yard line. It looks like Georgetown Prep have moved their fly half to 9 and subbed in a new fly half. An interesting decision, as I thought their fly half was quite instrumental to their successful back play so far this game. However, play will continue. Prep win the scrum. Quite a slow scrum as the 8-man picks to the weak side is brought down by several Gonzaga forwards, quick out of the pack. Prep play the ball out to a forward, who is taken down with some difficulty by Gonzaga's props. Prep win the ruck. And then they kick high and shallow. Not very much distance on that kick at all, but Gonzaga can't quite collect it. Make the tackle though, push Prep out to the sideline, not quite out of bounds yet. So, some sloppy passing and back play from Prep just there. As Gonzaga recover the ball, but it will not count as they are blown up for a penalty, I imagine for hands in the ruck or something similar. Prep on their own 45-yard line will kick to touch. Prep's new scrum half kicks from the 50 to the 22. Another very impressive kick to touch from him. He's been very consistent so far this game. And we'll have another line out to Prep. Four minutes and 42 seconds to go now in the half. Eagles still lead 5-0 over the Georgetown Prep Hoyas. The Hoyas will be looking to attack now. And the Hoyas collect the ball off the line out, lose it forward in the tackle, and Gonzaga recover. Gordon will play the ball out. And the Eagles playing the ball out to the wing. A pretty bad pass there. And Gonzaga lose a bit of territory, but no worries. They keep the ball. Play on. Jeff Connors collects the ball in the middle of the field, breaks one tackle. It's taken about 3 men to get him down. And Gonzaga will play on. Bao Molinari catches the ball, is tackled in mid-catch, loses it forward. And the referee has awarded a scrum to Georgetown Prep. Some promising back play there from Gonzaga. Some poor handling though from the backs at the very end there. Prep will win the scrum. New 9 takes a while to play the ball out. A switch play there from the backs is broken up by a tackle. Prep lose the ball backwards but recover it well. And the fly half will play a deep box kick, be collected by Neil Kelly, I believe, who's brought down on his own 35-yard line. Gonzaga win the ruck. Offsides there from the prep player who came around the side of the ruck to attack the scrum half before he had his hands on the ball. That's quite illegal. And Bal Molinari will kick to touch. His kicks to touch have been very good this game, and he will kick from his own 40 to the opposing 30. A 40-yard kick to touch there from Bal Molinari. Very impressive indeed. Both teams here have very strong kicking fly halves. And Gonzaga now will have a line out on Prep's 30-yard line. This will likely be their last attacking chance of the half, with only a minute 40 left to play, up 5-0. A very tight scoreline, not what I expected at all. As I said last time, Prep and Gonzaga faced each other. Gonzaga put up about 30. So the fact that they've only got 5 so far this game is surprising. Gonzaga play on though, and they've made their way to the 20, attacking down the left-hand side of the field. Playing the ball out to the backs. Play it to Royston. Goes into contact, and it takes about 4 of Prep's forwards to bring him down. Gonzaga continue to play to the right. Bal Molinari loses the ball again. Plays the ball right into the path of a defending Hoyer, who knocks the ball on. And Gonzaga win the scrum. On the 35-yard line, still attacking. We will likely be getting close to last play and halftime. And this scrum may be one of the last events of the half. Both teams will be looking to score before the half to bridge the gap between the two teams. Still a very thin lead that Gonzaga are holding. Gonzaga have the scrum on the 35-yard line. Ball comes out the back of the scrum fairly roughly. Gordon recovers it well and is held up by about the entire Prep team. That will be a maul. It's not going anywhere. Gonzaga refused to contest, which is smart. They bring down the maul very effectively. Prep only have about 3 men not defending, but Gonzaga will not get the chance to play, as a scrum has been awarded to Prep, and that will be the half. A very tight half here, as the Eagles lead 5-0 over the Hoyers. Not a lot keeping these teams apart at all. We will have a 10-minute halftime, and we will take a short break. Thank you all for listening, and we will be back very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for the second half of the MAVRC Division 1 Championship game between Gonzaga's Eagles and the Georgetown Prep Hoyas. Gonzaga carry a narrow 5-0 lead into the second half. A very tight first half from both teams. Some pretty sloppy play on both sides. Very impressive kicking. No major injuries to speak of, except one to Prep's starting scrum half. He was subbed out about 20 minutes in. But here we are, ready to go for the second half of this championship match. 30-minute half, and Prep will kick off to Gonzaga. Gonzaga attacking left to right in white and purple stripes, and Georgetown Prep attacking from right to left in blue and gray. We will be underway here in just a moment. They'd have lost the game ball during halftime. There it is, it's been kicked out into the middle of the field so that Prep can kick off the second half. The referee blows his whistle, starts time. Kick goes high and left, doesn't go 10, and also makes it out of bounds. Not a particularly impressive kick, and Gonzaga have opted for the scrum center. If you don't know, when a kick goes straight out off of a kickoff, the attacking team gets to choose between a line out, a re-kick, or a scrum center, and Gonzaga have opted for the scrum center. Gonzaga win the scrum. A free kick has been awarded to Gonzaga. Not sure why. The referee saw some discrepancy in the scrum. And Gonzaga have decided to retake the scrum on the center spot. Gonzaga win the scrum again, twice in a row. 8-man will pick. He goes down after about 10 yards. Gonzaga hit the ruck early, win it. Pop it up to the number 5, the log. Gonzaga win the scrum again. They're calling for a kick, but no kick came. I believe Gonzaga's scrum half was closed down before he could make the kick, and he is carried out of bounds. And we will have a line out to Prep on their own 40-yard line. Prep have another man down injured. Seems to be in some pain. Looks like their fullback, who had a fairly good first half, got a lot of good running in. He's hard to bring down, but he appears to be down now and will get some attention from the trainers. Only 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the half. We'll take a short break here. Prep's injured man appears to be back on his feet, still getting talked to from the trainer, as we are yet to decide whether or not he will stay in the game. Of course, at this point in the tournament, Prep have limited substitutions, and they won't want to have to waste one, especially in such a tight cup final. And he will play on as the trainers exit the field, and we will have a line out to Georgetown Prep on their own 40-yard line, attacking from right to left on your screen. Prep win their line out, play it out to the backs. Outside center is brought down fairly easily by Gonzaga, but Prep commit a lot of men to the ruck and win it easily. The fullback, who's just down and injured, kicks deep. Kick is caught, played out to the left to Sebastian Tabash, who is quick. He makes the kick, but is blocked, so can't catch it. The ball is recovered by Prep's fullback. It's brought down on his own 15-yard line. It was a high tackle from JT there, John Thompson. And we will have a penalty to Georgetown Prep on his own 15-yard line. Prep's fly half will kick to touch. Kick goes from the 15 to about the 50. Another very impressive kick out of the hand from their number 10. We have a line out to Prep right on half line. 26 minutes to go here. Still only 5 points separating these two teams. Gonzaga maintaining the shutout though. Prep lose their line out. Gonzaga steal. Gonzaga scrum half Gordon is brought down about 5 yards behind the line out. But a penalty has been awarded to Prep for a foul in the line out, and they will kick to touch again. A lot of penalties in this second half so far, making it difficult for either team to establish a rhythm of play. And Prep opt for a scrum rather than the free kick. Scrum down right on halfway towards the side of the field. Prep win the scrum, play the ball out to the backs. They've got it all the way to the wing, but the wing is brought down. Gonzaga looked to win the scrum, but they are cleared out fairly quickly. Prep play the ball to the forwards, gain about 5 yards. Win the ruck again. Gonzaga not even contesting. Prep play the ball out again. The pass comes off of the back of Prep's center. Gonzaga intercept, gain about 10 yards. And will look to play the ball out. Nope, they settle the ball. Crash with the forwards. They're only 20 yards out now, very close to the try area. And play the ball out to the backs. Ball played off the ground to Bal Molinari. To the wing, Neil Kelly. He's only 5 yards out. But a scrum has been awarded to Prep for a forward pass. Very unlucky there for number 10, Bal Molinari. And played the offload, but it was just a tiny bit forward. A little bit harsh from the referee, but he has the last word. 23 minutes to go now in the half. Prep will take the scrum from their own 15-yard line. Prep student section making a lot of noise down by the end zone on the far end of the field. As Prep make a substitution in the back line. Ball comes straight out the side, will go out of bounds, and we will have a line out to Gonzaga, 10 yards out of Prep's in-goal area. Number 13, Matt Freeman, is gesturing to the crowd, trying to get them loud, get some excitement, build some atmosphere, inspire the players. Still only 5 points separating them. A try is desperately needed for either team as Prep have another man down injured. And the trainer is on with a backpack. Another break in play here. Only 8 minutes into the half, and it feels like we've had barely any actual play, the amount of stoppages we've had so far. Not quite sure what medical process this is from Prep's trainers, but yeah, I've got no idea. But the player seems fine to continue. Trainer exits the field, and the line out will go ahead to Gonzaga, only 10 yards out of Prep's try area. Prep defending on the line. Gonzaga will be looking to score some much needed points and break through this Prep defense. Time comes back on. Gonzaga win the line out and will look to maul their way into the try area, but the maul comes down fairly early. Gonzaga will settle, take it weak side with the forwards. Ball comes out, is recovered very well by Gonzaga. And they play it to the forwards again. Win the ruck. They're only 5 yards out now. They'll look to settle again. Only 2 yards out now. Tantalizingly close. And they're in for the try. Gonzaga score again. 10 minutes into the half, and they'll go up 10-0. Prep have another man down injured. Oh, he's back up. And Gordon, the scrum half, will kick the conversion to take the Eagles 12 points clear of the Hoyas. Almost a straight line kick here. And he buries the kick without breaking a sweat. And Gonzaga go up 12-0 in the MAVRC Division I final with 20 minutes left to go in the second half. Very good start to the half from Gonzaga. This is exactly how they needed to start. After only being up 5-0 at halftime, early points is exactly what they needed, and they have delivered on that. Prep will kick off to Gonzaga to restart the game. Prep's kicker is not happy with the quality of the ball, is calling for a different one. And we are ready to restart now with 19 minutes and 41 seconds left in the half. Gonzaga Eagles up 12-0 over the Hoyas. Gonzaga collects the kick on their own 30-yard line. Carry it forward. Maul is created. Tackled player goes down. And Gonzaga appear to lose the ruck, but Prep are blown up for diving over. And Gonzaga will have a penalty on their own 30-yard line. Val Molinari will kick to touch. His kicking to touch has been very consistent this game, gaining about 20 or 30 yards on each kick. And he makes no mistake this time, kicking from the 30 to about the 45, a solid 15-yard gain for the Eagles. And they will have a line out on the 45-yard line. Captain Joe Royston will throw in for Gonzaga. Gonzaga win the line out, play the ball out to the backs. JT collects the ball, goes down at about the halfway line. Gonzaga will win the ruck, continue playing the ball to the left-hand side. Don't gain very much distance at all on that move. Go down at the 50-yard line again. Scrum half takes it quick, tries to grub her through, doesn't gain much ground at all. Ball is recovered by Prep. Prep go down on the 40-yard line. Penalty is called on the 40 to Prep for a high tackle, I believe. They try to kick, and the ball is knocked on by their center. Very unlucky there. If he hadn't knocked the ball on, he would have been home and away to bring Prep back into the game. However, he did not. So we will have a scrum down to Gonzaga on their own 25-yard line. Gonzaga win the scrum. They play the 8-man pick, but Prep's open side flanker is quick to the tackle. Gonzaga win the ruck, however, carry the ball into contact, gain a lot of yards. Win the ruck again. Bal Molinari will kick deep. Prep collect the ball, then carry back up the field. It's another pretty high tackle there from Matt Freeman. And Georgetown Prep will have a penalty quite far away from where the foul happened on Gonzaga's 35-yard line. And their fly-off will look to kick to touch again. Another quality kick from him as he brings Prep within 15 yards of Gonzaga's try area. We'll have a line out to Prep, 15 yards out. 16 minutes left in the half now as the Eagles lead the Hoyas 12-0 in the MAVRC final. Prep fake the front pod, throw to the back pod. The throw is not straight and Gonzaga will take it again. We'll have a scrum down to Gonzaga on the 15-yard line. Gonzaga win the scrum again. We play the 8-man pick to the weak side. The 8-man Eddie gains about 10 yards before he is tackled out of bounds. And Prep will have a line out on the 25-yard line in a very dangerous scoring position right now. 14 minutes to go in the half. The Eagles still lead. Prep win the line out but drop the ball. And they win a penalty off of the line out, because Gonzaga's jumper intentionally knocked down the ball, which is a penalty. The fly half will kick to touch again. It's another very effective kick. And they will have a line out on the 10-yard line. Prep edging closer and closer to the all-important try area. They need to score on this drive if they're going to get back into this game. They fake the jump again and play the ball out to the forwards, who is brought down on the 10-yard line. Gonzaga really need to win one of these rucks now and get the ball back. However, they lose it. Prep play weak. Play the grubber into the try area, but it goes all the way out. And Gonzaga will be awarded a 22 drop, I believe. Yep, the 22 drop is awarded to Gonzaga by the referee. Gonzaga just organizing their attack right now. And they will kick deep to the 50-yard line when Prep's fullback will catch the ball. He doesn't make it very far at all. He offloads before he gets tackled, though. And Prep go down on the 45-yard line. And they will kick deep. The kick is tipped by Gonzaga's players. And the fullback drops the ball on the catch. Very unlucky there. And we'll have a scrum down to Georgetown Prep on the 25-yard line. Prep will win the scrum. Playing the ball out through the backs. They try a chip kick through the middle. Don't win it, though. The ball is recovered by Gonzaga, who will kick deep. Sebastian Tabash is chasing it, but Prep will get there first. The fullback makes it all the way back, kicks it back to Gonzaga. He's looking for touch, and he's made it. Gonzaga will have a line out on their own 40-yard line. Only 10 minutes to go now in this final game, this championship match. Gonzaga still lead by a fairly slim margin of only 12-0. Prep really need to score soon if they want any chance of getting back into this game. Gonzaga win the line-out, play it out to the forwards, who will crash and gain a lot of ground off of that play. Play it out to the backs, it's carried into contact by Gonzaga's fly half. They continue to play out to the right wing. Move the ball to Bal Molinari on the wing. The fake pass is very effective. He goes for the offload, but it is tipped out of bounds, and Prep will have another line out on the 50-yard line. Gonzaga really struggling here to put any kind of coherent play together. every time they move the ball out to the wings, they get it all the way there, do all the hard work, and then drop the final pass. And they'll really need to clean that up if they want to be successful at Nationals next week. Prep win the line out. Move the ball out to the backs. The fullback goes for a run, gains quite a lot of ground on the wing, and will be carried out of bounds, tackled onto the track for a line out to Gonzaga on their own 45-yard line. Gonzaga will win the line out, play the ball out to the 8-man, who's run all the way through, gained about 20 yards, offloads well, and Gonzaga make it all the way up to the 35-yard line. Scrum half Gordon plays the box kick, doesn't make it, doesn't collect, Prep cannot catch, and Gonzaga carry the ball all the way to the 5-yard line. Very close now. If they score on this play, they could seal the game for themselves and win themselves the championship. Only 8.5 minutes left. They play the ball out to Matt Freeman, who wrestles his way into the try area, and the try is given. Some fantastic play there from Gonzaga. They played the settle play 3 or 4 times where the forwards crashed into the defense. And then the cut play out to the backs, very effective at stretching the defense, and ultimately won them the try. And they take the lead, 17-0, with 8 minutes left in the game. And the scrum half Gordon will kick the conversion to take them 19 points clear. He takes the kick quickly and makes it. No sweat. The Eagles are up 19-0 with 7 minutes left in the half over the Little Hoyas in the MAVRC D1 Championship. Prep will kick off back to Gonzaga to restart the game. The high kick goes deep. It's recovered by Prep, but the fly half carries it straight out of bounds for a Gonzaga line out on the 30-yard line. Gonzaga win the line out at the back pod, play the ball out to the forwards. A crunching tackle there from Prep's center. Gonzaga recover the ball though. Play it out again to the forwards, who gain a little bit of ground, but not much. Ball played deep here to Matt Freeman, who will kick high. Won't gain very much territory, but Prep drop the ball. It's little errors like that that lose you games. Gonzaga have the ball again on their own 35-yard line. They will kick deep this time to Prep's fullback, who's a good runner. He carries the ball upfield, but is brought down at his own 40-yard line there. An incredible tackle. Penalty advantage being played to Gonzaga for not releasing. They win the penalty on Prep's 40-yard line. Gonzaga will be looking to stretch their lead even further in these last 5 minutes and put it a little bit more out of reach and harder to come back from for the Hoyas. They'll kick to touch here. A very good kick there from Gonzaga's scrum half from the 40-yard line to the 20. Gonzaga will have a line out now on the 20-yard line. Very close to the try area with only 5 minutes left to play in this cup final. If Gonzaga managed to score on this drive, they would effectively seal the game for themselves. They win the line out. They bring it down, and they'll play the maul. They break through the maul, and Gonzaga are on the 10-yard line. They play a forward crash, don't gain very much ground. They play it again, gain another 1 yard or 2. Gonzaga wins the ruck. Slow to play it out though. Ball comes out of the ruck, is recovered by Gonzaga. Prep is not rolling away, making it difficult for Gonzaga to get the ball back. But the referee has called a knock-on by Gonzaga and a scrum down to Georgetown Prep on their own 10-yard line. Very unlucky there from Gonzaga. A real waste of a scoring opportunity. Prep will have the scrum on their own 10-yard line and pray look to kick deep out of the danger zone. No scrums have been stolen so far this game. Every scrum has been won by the team that put it in. And once again, Prep win the scrum, and as I predicted, kick out of bounds to about the 15-yard line, only gaining themselves about 5 yards of territory there. Gonzaga will have the line out on the 13-yard line. There are 2 balls on the field currently. That's been fixed, and we will play on. Only 3 minutes to go now in this cup final. Prep need to act soon if they want to have any chance of winning. Gonzaga win the line out, play the ball out to the backs, and are now crashing with the forwards. They make it to Prep's 10-yard line. They play it out to the backs, who run it straight into contact, don't gain very much ground. Only 1 or 2 yards. Play it out to the backs again. Sorry, they play it out to the prop. Gains another yard or 2. Some very slow play here by Gonzaga, just eating up the last 2.5 minutes of the game. If they were to score on this drive, it would effectively seal the game and lock Prep out once and for all. Gonzaga win another ruck, play the ball out to the backs, don't gain very much ground again, but it doesn't matter. Gonzaga awarded a penalty for the offsides, I believe. They take it quick. Joe Royston running towards the try zone. He's brought down by about 3 Prep players, but they've only got 5 more yards to go. Tantalizingly close once again for Gonzaga. They keep crashing and crashing. But will they break down the wall that is Prep's defense? And crash again. Don't quite make it. They try to play the ball out to the backs, but they don't collect. Pass doesn't quite land, and they've been forced back to about the 7-yard line. Gonzaga still have the ball here. Playing it out on the weak side. And Gonzaga's brought down on about the 1-yard line. So close now, the Eagles. They will pick and go one more time. And they're not quite in. And the scrum is awarded to Gonzaga. Not sure of the foul. But Gonzaga couldn't quite capitalize on that chance. Very unlucky there. Only 20 seconds left now in the game. A knock-on from Prep gives Gonzaga a scrum down on the 5-yard line. With 10 seconds left to play, Gonzaga have this in the bag. We're now on last play of the MAVRC D1 Championships. Gonzaga still retaining their 19-0 shutout lead over the Little Hoyas. The scrum wheeling quite a lot there, and the ref will blow it up. And we will have it again. For those that don't know, at this level of play, scrums are only allowed to wheel 45 degrees. Any more than that, and you are forced to blow up the scrum and take it again. Here they go again. On last play, Gonzaga will be looking to stretch their lead even more. Gonzaga win the scrum, play it out to the backs. JT will take the ball into contact. He's working his way forward. Prep can't get him down. Referee calls maul. And Gonzaga will look to drive the ball into the try area. Prep doing a great job of holding it up, though, with only 2 players not committed to the maul. The maul isn't going anywhere, says the referee. He awards the... That's game. Ladies and gentlemen, Gonzaga are once again champions of MAVRC D1 with a 19-0 shutout victory over Georgetown Prep. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Arthur Farage, and I'll see you another time.